Hey guys, it's Jake, and before we get to the show, I just wanted to mention once again that I am running a half marathon in January for the McCourt Foundation at the Rose Bowl, and I am raising money for that half marathon. The money is going to go towards the TMF Foundation, which funds research and education to battle neurological diseases like MS and Alzheimer's and other conditions like that. And I think it's a really worthy cause. I have a couple friends that are affected by MS, number one. I have another couple friends whose families have been affected by Alzheimer's. And so it's a very worthy cause, in my opinion, to support. And I was happy to do it. So I started fundraising about a month ago, and I already have over $2,000. And it's very exciting to me. My goal I set was $2,500. And so I'm kind of just making one final push to get to my goal for this charitable endeavor, and I really hope that you can help me do it. I want to thank all the What's Bruin Show fans who have already donated. There are many of you that did, and I really, really, really appreciate that. But I only got less than $500 left, so please, if you have a couple bucks you can spare, go to the link that's right at the head of the show notes down below and donate to my charity run at the Rose Bowl. It'll be in January, and I look forward to running in that event, and thank you so much for your support. And now, on with What's Bruin.
Hey everybody, this is Jonathan Ogden, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
Hey Bruin fans, this is David Singleton, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show. Go Bruins.
Hey, this is Wayne Cook, and you're listening to What's Bruin Show.
Hey guys, this is Chris Johnson, UCLA national champion. I need y'all to listen to the What's Bruin Show. These dudes are off the hook.
This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show Network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Well, hello, and welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Merrifield, and I'm walking with my good buddy, Mike Regalado, for Bruin Report Online.
What's up, Jake?
And we are literally walking through Ackerman Union, walking by the Panda Express on the first floor. And
smells good. There's a line.
We're going to record live from Ackerman, but we hit the snafu of the one open spot in the outdoor area of Ackerman. There was no power. The outlet.
There were three outlets, and they're all being used.
You know, and I was gonna go rouse the student and say, "Hey, get the F out of here!" You know, like this is our turf. But you know, I didn't feel like catching that case before the game. But you know, I think I could have intimidated the student out of here. But,
look, you young punks.
But I chose not to. I chose to be mature.
Look, you young punks. We were here way before you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We were here before. But I did have a nice walk through the old bookstore. I took a picture of the table that had a book sale that me and Mike would have been a part of back in the day.
Dude, every time I come through here, I'm just like, dude, I know the ins and outs of all of this place.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah. So, I mean, and then now the old textbook store is still here. I didn't think they still sold textbooks, but I guess they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and here we are walking through Westwood. Through Ackerman Union. So, it's the What's Bruin Show, the What's Bruin Show Network. Thank you for your support. And now we're literally recording the show as I'm carrying the board and the computer system on my back.
Mm-hmm.
But we're walking back to my car to record the rest of this show, and then me and Mike and Bill, by the way, are going to go into the UCLA game to watch UCLA take on good old Sac State, and hopefully get a victory to bounce back from that not so great loss to Arizona, which we'll talk about momentarily. Rough weekend for UCLA sports, except for the women. You know, but,
and men's soccer.
And men's soccer, too, yeah. Mike's keeping track of that more than I am, obviously. But, you know, it's okay. We'll talk about all of it. But, of course...
Oh, Jake, what do we see in the distance?
Oh, what do I
Not
see?
A bear.
Oh, yeah. It's boxed up.
The bear is hibernating already.
For SC week, yeah. I think veer this way towards the Middle Eastern music.
Okay.
And...
multicultural UCLA.
Yeah, they're doing some sort of dance rehearsal for some sort of thing.
And you see all this madness? They're renovating the Wooden Center.
Renovating the Wooden Center? Oh my gosh, there's no windows on the Wooden Center.
Yeah,
it's completely
crazy.
open. Wow. You used to play pickup there, right, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
All the time.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So anyways, I'm hoping this doesn't sound super janky because I'm going to combine two voice memos from me and Mike together. I did this on the bare minimum once, and it worked out well on the cruise we were on, me and Megan. But I'm pretty sure this will be okay. But if there's a little bit of sound bleed for me and Mike, we apologize. And, you know, next week you'll have a very good sounding show.
Still, this is pretty damn innovative, Jake. I never would have thought of this.
Hey, we're trying to. And I still give it pretty good odds that it'll sound better than the Bruin Bible. So that's all. That's really my gold standard is be better than them. Although they did do a nice interview with Scott Quessenberry over this last week.
I saw that. I didn't get to hear
see
it.
that. Yeah, listen to that. It's pretty cool. But
yeah,
is anybody in this elevator? Okay, going into the bowels
swamp, Jake,
of UCLA.
Before November, I was covering one team. In November, covering 3.
Yeah, it's tough.
Goddamn, dude,
He's a little haggard. Mike's here in his game wear. He's got a blue striped blazer, which is pretty cool. It's got red. It's got a red lining in it.
Is this the one with? Yeah, tennis rackets.
Oh, that's pretty bitchin'.
Nice.
Otherwise, he's decked out in black. I'm wearing one of my Johnny O shirts. This is the first time I've worn my long sleeve, and this is a great shirt.
Comfy as F.
Oh,
So
unbelievably
comfy.
comfy. And it's got it's a nice little like label on the back. It's different than it's like across your back shoulder. But once again, thanks Johnny O for giving us these shirts.
Thank you very much.
But now we're in the bowels, or a P2 underneath Wooden Center. Actually, we're currently walking to my car. So in a few minutes, it'll get a little quieter. So once again, sorry about the background noise.
This is new territory. You're literally on a tour through part of UCLA
cool.
with the What's Bruin Show.
It's pretty cool, yeah. Hopefully you like it. And hopefully I managed to pay for my parking properly because I think I did. But, it's funny. They have this park mobile system here, which is the same thing they have at the University of California. But when I punched in the code that's literally on the sticker down here, it was 2525. It's like, oh, are you in Petaluma? I'm like, no, I'm not in fucking Petaluma. What are we talking about here? So I'm hoping I put it in right. Because I'm sure the very, very dedicated parking enforcement people of UCLA will jam me up for a ticket if I'm not. So
You want to get jammed up?
Mike, vamp a minute while you get into the car while I can put all this stuff down.
The what?
Just talk for a minute while I put all this stuff down.
Oh, okay. Yes. I have to. This is my time now to take over. But yeah, we've had this idea to record in Westwood before a game, and it actually was a pretty damn good idea. But damn college students wanting to study and all that crap, using up all the power. But anyway, this is actually a really great alternative. I got to use this next time, Jake.
Now we're in the car and just shut the doors on the old silver bullet. And the only concern I have at this point, Mikey, just a little inside baseball for our What's Bruin Show audience, is that we just have to make sure we keep our mics apart, I think, because we don't want too much of the sound bleed to the echo. So I would lean that way and I'll lean this way.
All right.
And we're all good. But with that being said, we're in the car. We sat down. The silver lining to us doing the show like this is, of course, that now we're not out in the cold. Because the first thing I said to Mike when I saw him
I was like,
was he staked out a spot outdoors on the Panda Express level. Outdoors. Because inside there's a bunch of students studying. Like I said, I was going to bully one of them, but I didn't. And it is rather chilly cold, I would just say. But I think it's okay. It's going to be okay now. But with that being said, it was a long weekend of UCLA sports. We may or may not have some headlines. We may or may not talk about UCLA coaches. Mike, do you have internet down here? Is that going to be an issue? Do you need internet?
I should have my. Yep, join my phone.
All right, good. He's perfect. And then talk a little men's and women's hoops, and then we'll get the F out of here. So, Mike, do you have any headlines that you want to speak of?
Do we have it? The only thing is that a judge had blocked the city of Pasadena and the Rose Bowl's restraining order to keep UCLA at the Rose Bowl. So that's the newest development with that. And it is kind of sad because we don't exactly know what's happening. This could be the last UCLA football game at the Rose Bowl.
But we don't know if it is the problem, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem.
So
Yeah. So we don't know if it will be at this point, because it seems like they're going to move. I kind of hope that it is, just so we can get it over with.
Yeah.
And I can go and say I was at the last one. Because I kind of feel like they're going to move regardless. So let's just get it done.
Yeah.
We don't need all the posturing and the legality. If by this time this time in September of next year, we're just all going to be at host SoFi anyway, if we choose to actually go to the game. So I guess that's where I stand on that. I think me and Mike had a pretty good conversation about this last week, hashing out the pluses and minuses of it. And I think we're both not in favor of them leaving the Rose Bowl, but I was kind of as close to coin flippy as you could get, I think, and I'm still kind of there. And every year that goes by when college football and the actual meaning of a real Rose Bowl is devalued, I kind of get close to what the hell. And every year that UCLA goes without making anywhere close to a Rose Bowl kind of, devalues it a little bit for me too. If UCLA were playing football like they were in the 80s and 90s, where going to the Rose Bowl was not a rare occurrence.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, not even a rare occurrence, where it was an occurrence, considering UCLA hasn't been to an actual Rose Bowl since the 90s. I might feel slightly different about this. But when they ain't been there for over 25 years. Over 25 years.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for me to really be like, oh, yeah, the history of the Rose Bowl, even though I do feel for the people that like the golf course. Apparently one of our group of friends, the Cindy and Tux of the world, are going to have a group of like 50 people there this weekend. So
yeah,
that might be a hell of a tailgate.
I'm going to get there early myself just because, I usually don't have to be there maybe an hour and a half I have to be there to do all my stuff beforehand, but I'm going to go a little bit earlier, take a little video, maybe do a little cry session. You know how it is.
Yeah, really enjoy it. Eat some of the grass off the golf course.
Yeah, exactly.
Really take it in and feel it.
Oh, when I'm on the field, maybe I should take some of that grass. Oh,
actually, Mike, yeah, get us both some Rose Bowl grass, please. That'd be great.
Should we edit this? We should edit this.
No, absolutely not.
Well, watch that. I'm gonna get.
If you get arrested for it, nobody's gonna know about this anyway.
Sorry,
but if you don't, then it's just you took some grass. It's fine.
Yeah, they're like, well, you said on the podcast you did. You're like, oh, well, where is it though?
I'll delete it. I'll take it out. I'll take it down.
No,
if you get arrested, I'll take it down.
No, it'll be a little late by then. But no, yeah, it's weird to know that it might be. But yeah, it would be nice to know if it actually is the last game of the Rose Bowl.
It totally would be nice, but I think let's just speculate that it is. And if we're going to go to the Rose Bowl, let's go to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
So with that being said, imagine you heard the football opening. Football, let's go, rah rah rah. And let's talk ever so briefly, about the
thumping
scheduled loss to Ohio State.
Scheduled loss.
The Buckeyes. And it was even more scheduled once we found out that Nico Iamaleava was not going to play because of a concussion that morning, which certainly would have helped me if they could have announced that maybe Friday night before. I was in Vegas, and I put down a bet for the Bruins to cover because I was the only positive light I could shine on this thing. It's like, Nico's out. I wake up in the morning and Nico's out for the concussion. I'm like, that's great.
Awesome.
There goes the 32-point cover I was hoping for. Which, I think you could make a good case. They could have covered that, but they didn't. They got thumped. And one of my wonderful friends at work, who's also a UCLA fan, was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that much of an ass. I was like, you lose by 40 points. It's an ass kicking. There's like no getting around it. But anyways, I don't really have anything to say about that game because they got work. They were in Ohio. They're at the Horseshoe. Any Bruin fans that went and traveled that game, I hope they enjoyed Columbus, which is a great town. I hope they enjoyed the Horseshoe. But, what are you going to say about that game, right? There's not much to say, Mike, unless you have something to say. I certainly don't.
No, it went as expected. Maybe a little worse. Maybe a little better when they actually scored 10 points. They got to what I thought they would do. But, Ohio State was just too damn powerful. There were signs of life here and there, this position or that. Key Lawrence was kind of a badass on defense. But yeah, UCLA was also without Garrett DeGiorgio, Unije, who I think, they were participating today. So was Nico Iamaleava. The one that was in sweats was Roderick Pleasant, who has been a pretty reliable cornerback for the Bruins this season. So, that's the personnel update. But when you're getting pushed around like that, there were so many shots of the UCLA offensive linemen just getting pushed back, and I was like, they really got to work on that. But it went just as planned.
That's how it was going to go.
Yeah,
and there's no sense getting worked up over it one way or the other. And it's somewhere in between the Penn State game last year and the United game this year. It's like they weren't going to win. They was never going to win the game, and now let's just move on. They have 2 games left on their schedule. Every second that goes by, they seem less and less winnable. There are really no stakes for the season, although I'm sure Bruin fans would love a victory over Washington, and they'd love even more a victory over SC. And those are 2 games that, It's not going to be like going into it like it was against Indiana or against Ohio State on the road. The game against Washington is at the Rose Bowl this weekend, and the one against SC is at the Coliseum. And I would personally be surprised, regardless of, like, we'll talk about the coaching news in a minute. UCLA might hire a country music star shortly. We'll see. I don't know. But whether they do that or not, I still think that Tim Skipper and the staff that is with UCLA, Neuheisel and DC is Coyle, yeah, thank you. Coiled like a cobra. I expect the Bruins to have better efforts than they did against Ohio State and Indiana. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're in these games. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the game. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose the game close. The only thing I would be surprised is if it were a blowout. And I'll just, that's where my confidence level with this Bruin team is right now. I don't think they're going to, Mike, we don't really have any insight about Nico playing or not, do we?
He was apparently practicing today. He was in stretches, going through some drills, but we have no idea if he's actually going to play on Saturday.
So this is okay. I'm gonna put a little asterisk on this. Provided that the Bruins that are available, the Bruins that we've seen the rest of the year play, mainly Nico, DeGiorgio, whatever, but especially Nico. If Nico's going to play in this game and it's like this year's team playing Washington, then everything I just said, I stand by. I don't expect them to get blown out. I expect them to compete. I expect it to be a competitive game in both of these games, Washington and SC. If this is one of those things where whether he's got a concussion or whether it's just like, we're going to call it quits on the season type of thing, and there is no Nico and this guy sitting and yada, 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 then all bets are off. And, it's going to be rough watches in both these games probably. Because it probably won't be competitive. But let's just assume that Nico's playing and, what I just said about those games is where I'm going to stand. Mike, how do you feel about the Washington game here this Saturday, possibly the last game at the Rose Bowl for these Bruins?
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, I think, as you said, they can be competitive. And even if you have to go with Duncan, he did look better in the second half. He seemed to be a lot more comfortable, and that's when they actually scored. And Washington has a pretty decent defense and offense. I mean, they're not like UCLA, but they're not like Ohio State either. So I think UCLA could at least cover the spread and keep it close. But yeah, if it is Duncan, even if he does have strides, that's going to be a really hard one to get a W with. The defense is going to really have to just suffocate offense and Damon Howard, who's just a freaking baller, and their running back, whose name I'm blanking on right now, Coleman. He's just a really good runner, and he's very sneaky. So the Bruins defense is really going to have to be on top of their game and trying to limit them. But that probably won't be the issue here. The issue will probably be if UCLA can actually put some points on the board. Even with Nico.
Coleman is the guy you're talking about.
Yes, Coleman. Even if Nico
Jonah Coleman
plays, he's going to face a pretty stout Washington defense. And this is also weird because it's kind of like Jed Fish is kind of like not exactly interviewing, but kind of like setting himself up for this job, I guess. I mean, if he does decide to come to UCLA,
is he really though?
Oh, I have no idea. Things are changing. But anyway,
I don't think he is.
But there are rumors of the James Madison coach Chesney.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay,
let's stay on target with Washington. I'm just saying, let's go to the Jed Fish part of it. Like, if it just feels like, especially remove us, a month later, all these jobs that have opened.
God, it's insane.
Like, I don't want to talk about any candidate other than Jed the Fish right now, but it seems like a month later with all these other jobs open and with Washington the way it is and UCLA the way it is, certainly I think you could make the argument that Jed the Fish is interested in UCLA, being in LA, coaching here. But I think, just from my read of things, it seems a lot less likely that Jed the Fish would be hired for the UCLA coach this year here on November 18th than we thought it was back on like October 18th for sure. For sure. So, I mean, you're right, Mike. He could be he could be UCLA's next coach, possibly, but I don't know. I don't like the language you just used of an audition for the job. I don't know about all that. Although, I guess
performing for the show. Performing.
It'd be interesting if that's what it was, but it just doesn't
auditioning.
seem like,
That's the word I'm thinking.
But it doesn't seem like that's what he's doing anymore. Because I think I'm at the point where I would be surprised if Jed the Fish is UCLA's next head coach. More so than I would have been last month.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry to derail you, Mike. The Bruins are a 10.5 point dog in this game at home in their possibly last game at the Rose Bowl. And you're thinking that if everybody plays, you're thinking that they can at least cover, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would say that if everybody plays, I'm thinking they don't just cover like this is a one-score game, one way or the other type of game. That's the way I look at this game against Washington. It's a coin flip game to me if everybody's playing. And if it's not, then they're going to lose by 25 or whatever.
Exactly.
But now, there's a little bit of breaking news here for me, not for anybody else. But for me, the breaking news is this game is at fucking 7:30, Mike.
Yeah.
What in God's green earth are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
So I was about a 95%
Big
going
Ten
into this
after dark.
game. I was about 95% going to this game. You know what I am now? I'm definitely a coin flip at this point. Like, and by the way, if I do go to the game, if I go do
You're
this
leaving
game,
at halftime.
I'm a 97% chance to leave at halftime. I'm going to say bye to Nancy. I'm going to say bye to Dave. I'm going to say bye to Chewy. This is behind us, and Leo, all those guys. I'll be like, peace, deuces.
Later.
I'm out on the Rose Bowl. I'm going home. Screw you guys. But 7:30 game, really? The last game was going to be a 7:30. We don't even get the beautiful sunset.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's going to set 2 hours
before
before
4
kickoff.
o'clock. Halftime, we're looking at the sunset. These assholes setting these times. It's
Oh,
bullshit.
It's the TV companies, man.
And by the way, poor Nancy. Drive all the way down there.
Think of Nancy, people.
For all the way down there. This is not a short drive for this woman. She's going to go out there to the Rose Bowl at 7:30. She's not leaving early. She's not no sissy like Jake. She's going to be there. And it's going to be so cold. When you get this girl a parka, right? It's going to be, like 41 degrees by the time this game is done.
Yeah, the low is supposed to be 40.
I would pull that out of my ass and I was right.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? Okay? What are we doing? Don't do that.
High of 65 during the day.
You know what? If you're going to do a 7:30 game, do it in freaking Minnesota or something like that. They already know it's going to be cold. Don't F us up. Like, we have good weather. How would you take advantage of the good weather?
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
put us in the cold, too. Like I said, 4 o'clock would have been ideal. Now I'm pissed. And now, I don't know if I'm going. And I'm going to be like that. But we'll see, Mike. Mike's going to be there
Yes.
in the press box, temperature controlled.
Be a little early.
Yeah. And so we'll see how it goes. I think we didn't predict a score last week, Mike. You realize that, don't you?
Yeah, I thought of it afterwards, but I thought
that's why we're not going to predict a score this week.
It doesn't
because no one cares. These games, they don't really, they barely even count.
Yeah.
So we're not doing a score.
Yeah.
At least I'm not. You can. If you put 0 to 0. That's my score prediction. And you can put that up.
7.5 to 3Q.
There we go. I love that. That's good. That's good. Pi. My score is pi to negative 87. Okay. Anyways, so with that being said, that's that game. Now, Mike, the Bruins might hire Kenny Chesney. Is that what I heard?
Seems like that rumor is growing stronger and stronger every minute.
The force is growing with this young man. Okay. Do you have any thoughts about that? First of all,
I mean, good hire. I mean, if he turns out to be just like Kurt Signetti, because he's done well at James Madison and
JMU. Shout out to Stephen Hartzell from College Sports Now, JMU guy.
He has the team rolling, and obviously, if you could be successful with James Madison, we've seen that Signetti could take that model and some of the players and transfer them over and be successful.
They got any
Indiana.
other players to come? I mean, that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the portal's going to be crazy no matter what. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. This is a name that kind of came out over the weekend, I think. What did Brett Murphy break it or Rick Neuheisel. I don't know. Rick Neuheisel's like everywhere
Slick
with
Rick
this
was
stuff.
part of
So,
it too.
yeah. So yeah, he heard per sources. But no, that I would. That's one that I would say yes. If you can go get that, yes, because he's also becoming a hot commodity. It's not just that UCLA kind of found him and is keeping him a secret and is trying to hire him away. No, there are other programs that are looking his direction. One that's not anymore was at Virginia Tech, who already hired James Franklin, which... Good
for him. Good
yeah.
for them.
So I was at a point where, like, you know what? Just hire James Franklin. I don't care at this point, but I'm glad I care a little because, yeah, I really didn't want that. But no, so if UCLA can figure out how to do this and get Chesney, that would be a pretty solid hire.
Yeah, I think I would think that about that too. I'm a little, I'm wondering if, lightning can strike twice at the same program. How much of his success is because of what Cignetti built, kind of thing.
I thought about that too.
I'm a
yeah.
little worried about that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd almost rather have a guy who was the first guy there doing the big thing. But with that being said, James Madison's still a really good team still right now. I'm not sure if UCLA were to hire him, like we just said it a minute ago, would the guys that you're importing, leveling up basically from there, be of the same impact that they were for Indiana when Cignetti went there, right? Like that, I'm a little skeptical of that. But, you still want a guy that's, all I said was, I either want like the hottest of hottest coordinator hires or, which would be a power, a P4 coordinator hire, or I wanted a guy who's doing it or done it at the lower level as a head coach.
Yeah.
And this qualifies for that regard.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I think it still goes with you don't have to break the bank to pay a guy like this. And if it doesn't work out, then you just do it over again and roll like that. And I like that, subscribe to that plan more than I like subscribing to the James Franklin or the Jed the Fish plan quite too. Although I think be fine with Jed the Fish. But with that being said, Mike, we may have a coach before
apparently
mid-December.
Hopefully first, second week of December.
Yeah,
that would be ideal.
Unless one of these guys goes into the playoff and
which will extend it a little bit. But that's kind of why having a guy like Chesney from James Madison is not necessarily in the. Are they in the top 25? I think they're in the top 25.
I think they are.
I don't think they are in the playoff picture. So he might just have a bowl. So if that's what the case is, then yeah, he just has one game after. Although I don't know if his conference does like a championship game, a conference championship. But yeah, he would at least be able to just have one more game rather than worry about potential 3-4 more. So that would favor UCLA. So that would be good.
Yeah, they're ranked 22 in the AP, but not in the college football playoff rankings at this point. So yeah, that's cool. They're like, I was just over the weekend at UNLV versus Utah State. Go Rebs! I got to see them beat Utah State in a pretty fun game, and of course, over there, the Bruins lost to Dan Mullen and the Rebs this year. Do you have any thoughts on Dan Mullen, or do you have any thoughts on the guy from New Mexico, or do you have any thoughts on anybody else, Mike, other than who seemingly is the leader in the clubhouse right now, who's Kenny Chesney?
Yeah, I like Mullen, but he is an older gent. How long does he have?
What's our guy's actual real name? Is it Bob Chesney? Fred Chesney? I'm just going to go with Kenny, but I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to derail you anymore, Mike. So say what you're saying about the other candidates.
Yeah, Mullen, good. I would say good, but not exciting. I don't know, if he would hit the ground running. Ideally, fans want what Cignetti brought to Indiana. They want UCLA to be good as fast as possible. Is that a reality? I don't know. Does Dan Mullen? Is he hip with the kids? Is he all into the 6-7? Does he connect with recruits? I would ideally just want, a younger guy, maybe not like in his 20s, but like you said, a guy who has been a head coach at the lower level and, he's just connected. I'm not saying that Mullen isn't connected, but he is, getting older. And I ideally would want a younger, maybe mid-30s, late 30s, early 40s type of head coach who just can make a freaking difference, and hopefully get UCLA going within 2 years. So that's just me.
No, I can see that. And I don't know if he needs to be in his 30s. I think I definitely don't want somebody that's in their 60s, maybe. Jim Mora Jr., not Junior, whatever. I don't know. I could be talking to that as well. But we're going to see who it's going to be. We're probably going to know who it is until they hire it, breaking news, yada, yada, all that stuff. But we'll just have to be patient, wait and see. And then hopefully when they make the hire, it's somebody that we just aren't like all eye rolly about. That's really what I'm hoping for. Hopefully it's more of a thing of like, I guess we'll have to see. I guess we'll have to see. And hopefully it's just a good, well thought out process of a hire, not hiring somebody with no experience whatsoever, 3 months late.
Yeah.
That's really, it's a pretty low bar to hit right now. All right. So enough about all that nonsense. No more football stuff. Basketball talk, Mike. We're here to see the Bruins take on Sac State.
Yep.
The men's team, though, lost a game to stupid Arizona down at in Inglewood.
Mm-hmm.
Head into it. Down the stretch. Failing down the stretch. They had control of the game, and then they lost it. And what were your thoughts on that game at this point?
It was actually a really good game. They had played better.
It was a good game
than they had in the previous 3 games, but that's the thing. They went up against Cupcakes in the first 3 and didn't look great against those at times. They looked really good against Arizona. I mean, they led and they held on, but just late down the stretch, they allowed Arizona to shoot 60% in the second half, and you can't have that. They were playing well, but my thing is, and we're going to see it tonight, were they playing well because it was a big-time environment? It was against a rivalry. It was nationally televised. College basketball was looking at this game on Friday night at that time, and it was exciting. How is UCLA going to do in a game like tonight against a lesser opponent? It's not going to be as rah-rah, as publicized. Is it even going to get packed? I don't think so on a Tuesday night.
Doesn't seem like it.
But UCLA needs to create their own energy when there's none. If you're going into an arena and it's half to 3/4 full, you have to create that energy. Mick Cronin has been talking about all summer long that he has an older team which helps out with chemistry and experience and all that. Well, prove it. You got to have that energy and make Pauley stand up and cheer. Hasn't been a lot over the first 3 games, but they're starting to get together and gel. But tonight, if they don't have enough energy, it's kind of that might be definitive of what this team is. They come up big when they need to, but when it's just like they play and you can't do that. If they want to remain a top 25 team, and that's the thing, they barely lose to Arizona, but they lost. They slipped 4 spots in the AP poll, and that's probably because they're just like not impressive right now. It's not exactly stagnant. It is at times. They can pull their heads out of the ground when they need to. They did get those first 3 wins, but they need to prove that they are a team that can punish people, especially the Sac States and the Presbyterians of the world who they play this week. So, we'll see what happens with that.
We will. And, it all starts here with Sac State. As far as what are the other, Mike, I'm sorry if you just said it, but the other big games they have coming up, they're at Cal at a neutral site game.
Yeah.
And then
they have the first 2 Pac-12, Big Ten December games.
And then at Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some big So they have this game and the Presbyterian game, and then after that, there's 4 relatively big games in a row.
Arizona State
Or
after that.
5, yeah, I'll say Arizona State, 5 really big games in a row, and then they have a little break with Cal Poly and UC Riverside before going into the Big Ten slate. But let's see them work their crap out right here against Sac State and against Presbyterian, and then hopefully have an impressive showing for the rest of the non-con plus those 2 Big Ten games. So we'll see. Now, Mikey, you want to celebrate. We didn't lead with them, I'm sorry, but the UCLA women's basketball team did pretty darn well. What do you want to say about them?
Freaking hell. They last week they had 2 games. They had 3 games total, but 2 games were against ranked teams. They took down number 6 Oklahoma pretty easily.
That's right.
53-59. Well, not pretty easily. I'll get into that really quickly. And then they took on number 11 North Carolina, beat them 78-60. Now, in both games, it was pretty much back and forth. At one point, North Carolina looked like they had the edge on UCLA. Oklahoma, too, at one point. But then the second half came around, they adjusted, and my God, they're just punching people in the face. It's really good to see that they're basically in midseason form, and this is just interesting because you have 2 transfers, Neepkins and Leisure Walker, who have come in and 4 or 5 games in, they're already embedded into the offense, and that's just it's been a little slow going with the men and their transfers, but their thing is defense that they have to worry about, I believe. More than the offense. But back to the women's team, they are just coming in and making quite an impact. Neepkins was brought in for a 3-point shooting. It stalled in the first game, but has been pretty solid. Not great, not yet, but it's been consistent. I'm not trying to bag on London Jones, but Jones was not consistent. But apparently now she's playing really good for USC. So come on now, jeez. But no, Neepkins has been a 3-point threat, but Leisure Walker has been able to really be a facilitator. She's more like the starting point guard, and Kiki's like the wing point guard. So Kiki doesn't have to do most of the distribution, and the ball is flowing easily with all of them, and that hasn't put Kiki aside. No, she's actually been doing really well. Her and Lauren, I believe it was in that Oklahoma game, Oklahoma or North Carolina, either way. I think it was the North Carolina one where both of them got double doubles. So they're still kicking ass. So that's a good sign. And then back to Leisure Walker. She won the most outstanding player for this WBCA challenge over the weekend in Vegas, where they played first North Carolina, then South Florida, and that says a lot to have a transfer who hasn't played in 2 years get most outstanding players. So that's pretty good news for UCLA, and now they have a break because they have one hell of a slate too, because was it Sunday? I think they play, Southern? So they have basically a week off. But it gets tough really quickly. In Vegas, they take on Texas, and then I forget who the other 2 teams are. Yeah, and then the following Sunday is Tennessee.
Yeah.
So, damn, next week is going to be tough. So rest up, Bruins. They got a battle coming up.
So that Texas game's part of a tournament, and there's other teams
there. Who the other 2 teams are. So whoever wins that second game is who. If UCLA wins, they'll play whoever wins the second game. So
gotcha.
This is an actual bracket rather than a multi-team event, WCA challenge. So
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so they look like they're in mid-season form already, and that's scary.
Awesome. Okay, well, I mean, we're glad that they're playing well, and I just want to see them shoot well, and then we'll go from there. Right, Mike? Yes, he said right.
Yeah, sorry.
So it's okay. He's looking up who that other opponent is, and it's okay. Or he's getting a text or something. I don't know.
No, I think my recording stopped at one point.
Oh, Mike.
But
that could be really bad.
Where are you at, 26?
I'm at 37. Okay, so it turns out tragedy was averted for the most part. I was able to go back and reclaim some of Mike's audio, or all of Mike's audio, and the sound changes a little bit, but hopefully it's listenable. Once again, the gold standard is just being a little better than the Bruin Bible, LOL. But, so you heard the whole conversation. You'll hear me reference later in the show when we get to What's Bruin that we may or may not have all the audio there. Well, all the audio is there, so you get to enjoy Mike's take on basketball. There that is. But also, after I went into the game, a little special treat, I did the same thing with Bill. Since we were doing such a janky recording setup, I said, well, if I could do it in my car and walking through Ackerman, I could do the same thing in Pauley Pavilion. So with that being said, I'm going to throw it to me talking to one Bill Shirley, a former host of What's Bruin. So here you go. Enjoy that. About 10 minutes with Bill.
All right, so I'm sitting here in Pauley Pavilion with my man William Henry Shirley III, and we're about to watch UCLA take on Sac State. There's a bunch of Bruins out there, the starting lineup that I've never heard of before, so they're Daly. Bill, how many of the starting lineup do you know by name?
2, Trent Perry and Eric Daly.
Okay, good. Oh, Trent Perry too. I do know Trent Perry, but thanks for coming out to the ball game with me, Bill. Thank you, Godfather, for giving us the tickets.
Heck yeah!
And what do you think the crowd is here?
I was standing in line to get you some popcorn, and there was a Sac State guy who was joking that he's like, "What do you think there are about 2,000?" I was like, "No, probably less." He's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a Tuesday in LA against Sac State."
But I will say it actually filled up more than I thought it would because we're on the away from the teams. And actually, there's more people there than there were just a couple minutes ago. So
sure,
it's not a big crowd though.
No, it's not. It's not, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's a sprinkling. But Bill, it's your first appearance on the What's Bruin Show in quite a while, and that's okay. I hope you're doing well.
Yes.
This is not going to be an extended segment, certainly, but I want to get your thoughts on a couple things. Number one, you saw UCLA play Arizona on Saturday. I was in Vegas watching that.
Yes.
They lost the game. They had control of the game, but then lost it going down the stretch.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about that game? Other than Suzanne yelling "mother effer" a number of times.
Well, I think they had the potential, of course, to beat Arizona, which was great to see. But the thing for me was, I thought they were trying too hard. Mainly Dent. I thought he was sort of pushing it because he's a very talented player. Don't get me wrong. I just felt like he was pressing a little bit on that one, and he wasn't facilitating as much as trying to go more one-on-one. And I'm okay with it. They did not get their asses whooped by Arizona at all.
They had control of the game until down the stretch.
That's what I'm saying.
Failed, yeah.
So it's just it's just going to show as the season goes on. Hopefully they learn from this and show more maturity as the season goes on to put their foot on the necks of opponents.
I think that's fair. That's fair. And they're going to have some tests coming up. They play Gonzaga again. They beat Gonzaga last year. Who knows if this group will be able to? But still hope for the Cronin and his Bruins this year.
Oh, yeah.
It should be a good year.
I think it will be a good year.
What are your, just off the top of your
No, I do.
Of Donovan Dent, like you just talked about a minute ago, but
I think
what do you think of him overall?
I think he's a really good player. I just felt like that game he wasn't trying to distribute as much as take him one-on-one. He's a really good distributor, right? And so, I just feel like with time, he'll get it. I'm not worried about him, and I think he's going to be key to any kind of success in the postseason.
And it would have been great if we could watch him with our own ojitos tonight, but I guess that wasn't in the cards for us.
We might.
You're going to be here on Friday.
I will be here on Friday when they play when UCLA plays Providence. But in terms of this game, who knows if we'll see them? We might see them in later this half or maybe the second half. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see how long we actually are here in the stands for this game, too. That is right. You're a working man. I'm a working man.
It is a Tuesday night. It is.
So, Bill, word on the street is, and Mike and I talked about this earlier, but word on the street is that there may be a hiring or a hot on the coach board.
Yes.
Hiring is Bob Chesney, not Kenny Chesney, from...
I'll take Kenny Chesney. That'd be cool. I mean, he could sing to everyone at halftime.
That'd be cool. So, but what are you thinking of the James Madison coach, or is there somebody that you prefer? Or what do you think about the hire?
Look,
your thoughts in general about that?
I'm not. It's not like I know. It's not like I follow James Madison. But what I am understanding about the guy is that he's won at every level he's been at, which is good, a track record, right?
That's something I wanted,
and that's what we wanted, right? And he's not a power four guy. He's a group of five guy who won't cost as much and has really good upside. So I'm okay. I'm good.
How do you feel about maybe though him getting the Signetti kind of like deal, carrying on what Signetti built as opposed to building his own thing?
I disagree because of
I'm
the
not
fact.
saying that. I'm saying, how do you feel about that idea? Or I guess, yeah, you disagree.
Yeah, I disagree.
You don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't buy it because he's won at every level. It's not like he just started and he's just using Cignetti's guys.
Nice 3-point play.
Yes, he's won at every level, and in terms of this point, yes, it's funny you say that about Cignetti's guys. You guys have to remember when Cignetti got the job at Indiana, he took the guys. He took 14 players.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's like a plethora of talented players that he left. Right? I'm sure this guy had to build some. This guy had to recruit. This guy had to do all that stuff. So I'm okay.
That's why I'm curious to see, like, let's say they did hire Chesney, then exactly how much would they bring up with him?
I don't know.
It's probably not the same level as it was with Cignetti, but I don't know. Maybe it is.
Who knows? Who knows how many? Look, it doesn't take. I know Cignetti brought 14 dudes, but like, hell, if he brought 5 dudes, especially in areas where we need it, which is the line. Say he brought 5 or 6 guys, 3 on offense, 3 on the defensive line. Oh man, I don't know. I think that could still help.
That's fine, but just I agree with you there. But the odds of them bringing guys from James Madison and them being guys on the line is probably very low probability.
Probably
you're bringing skill guys from James Madison because those are the guys that slip through the cracks from D1, I think. But you never know.
You never know. But either way, I'm hoping for the best.
Okay.
And if we can get him or University of Southern Florida? No.
What do you think about
Central Florida? Is that the other guy?
Central Florida? Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
Golish.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about? I was just at UNLV, Boise, Utah State.
Oh, okay.
Dan
good.
Mullen. What do you think about Dan Mullen?
I don't know if he's going to have. You think he still has a drive? That's
You
all
don't
I'm
think he's got the
asking.
juice? You don't think he's got the juice?
I don't know if he has the juice now.
I kind of agree with you on that.
I kind
of agree.
Yeah, we need someone. I'm not saying he's bad. We just need someone who's just crazy about.
What do you think about Jed the
there.
Fish?
I'm okay not getting him. I really am, because it's like he's going to cost a buttload. Right? He's going to cost a buttload of money, and this way it's like we can spread. If we get a group of 5 guy, we can spread the wealth around so that the coach can get some really amazing assistant coaches.
And you're not tied to something for years and years.
Yes,
I'm totally with that idea.
With some which you know is going to be Jed Fish is going to command some insane, stupid buyout.
Yeah.
And let's not do that anymore.
That's like and I think I coined it a couple weeks ago because we're stealing it kind of from David Woods, but it's kind of the David Woods coaching hire philosophy, which is you hire somebody on a little lesser, and then you don't have to pay them a bunch of money, and you're not tied to that. And then if it screws up, you can fire them a couple years later and be done with it.
Yeah,
and get somebody to just start it over again. And I think
totally
I'm right
agree.
there with that theory.
And
certainly.
I am totally okay with that. Look,
what about the San Diego State guy?
I'm okay with that. I think he's done a good job, and
I like him too. He's young too. He's like 40.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That youthful.
He's a man, but he's 40.
Yeah. Oh, poor guy. He's fired. 4-point play. Potential 4-point play from Trent Perry. Really nice to see.
So far, 12-0 Bruins over the Sac State Hornets.
Yeah. We'll see how this night goes, but right now it's looking good for the Bruins.
Yeah. All right, last thing. I may or may not go see the Bruins' last football game in the Rose Bowl this Saturday.
Okay, versus the Huskies.
Bruins are probably going to be playing their games at SoFi after this year. Where do you land on that, Bill? What are your thoughts on that? Not that you've been to a home game, a football game, and I don't think you've been to a football game in like 15 years.
No, I was there. I went to one last year. I would say I would love for this to be just the initial salvos across the what do you call it, across the bow?
Yeah.
Right. Initial salvos across the bow for both sides to get them to the table and come to negotiate something better for both sides. Would
So
it be
you
nice?
want them to stay at the Rose Bowl?
I wouldn't mind, because it doesn't. For me, living in the Valley, the 405 sucks major balls.
That's 99% of my argument for staying at the Rose Bowl, because I don't have a whole lot other than that.
I don't. Yeah. So, but if you could whatchamacallit, if you could get the Rose Bowl to maybe give a little bit on concessions and parking where they're not sharing it, then why not? To me, the Rose Bowl, it's like if UCLA does leave, they don't have an anchor tenant moving forward. Like, it's going to be less and less for them. To me, it's like, why don't you work with UCLA to stay together? Because it's not like the Rose Bowl is not what it used to be. I don't know why they think they're the same Rose Bowl of 20 years ago. 20 years ago, they had all the clout. They had everything. That's a different world now. So why don't you work
You don't
together?
even have a meaningful Rose Bowl game
No,
anymore.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, guys, work, share. If you can share, and UCLA doesn't have to spend money it doesn't freaking have anyway on this, why not do it? That's what I'm saying. Just negotiate, guys. Negotiate.
Yeah. Okay, so if it works out well for William Henry Shirley III, they are staying at the Rose Bowl.
But getting better cut of the action.
Renegotiated contract, better deal.
I like SoFi. Don't get me wrong. I'm now a Chargers fan because of my friend.
Bolt up.
Yeah, Bolts up. Go Bolts. But you look at that stadium. It's gorgeous, but it's a pro stadium. There's nothing that screams college in that stadium at all, right?
But they do have a lot of video boards you could change to college. So
yeah, I mean, once again, it's an amazing stadium, but I don't get the college feel there.
Yeah.
Right. I don't.
My main argument for Rose Bowl is traffic, and my main argument against SoFi is traffic. Otherwise, the weather's certainly better at SoFi. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Bill won't have the excuse to not go to games in September anymore because
that's right.
The temperature control.
So you're and look, at the end of the day, it's all about money. It's sad, but that's just the new.
Yeah.
The new landscape is all really. It's always been about money, but it's like it seems like they at least put up a facade of caring. Now it's just blatant. It's like, nope, we don't care. We're gonna do whatever we can to get the money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Bill.
Yes.
It's been fun. It's been real. Do you have anything else to say about UCLA sports?
No, man.
Or the What's Bruin Show.
No, I miss you guys, and I still listen to the show. I root for you guys and your success, and to root for your success, that means I have to root for UCLA's success. So let's hope UCLA basketball does well. Let's hope UCLA football gets a really good coach, so that you can have a great ratings year next.
That'd be nice.
Next football season.
That'd be really nice. I appreciate
and
it. Okay.
You'll have more than 5 people giving you $2 a month.
That's right. All right. Thanks, Bill.
Go Bruins.
See you later. Okay, so funny thing happened on the way to us recording in our car. At some point, one of our recordings stopped, and so I'm not sure exactly what we reclaimed for this episode. So it might be a whole lot of football talk and nothing else. It might be basketball talk and nothing else. All right, it will definitely.
Let's roll them dice.
It's definitely not basketball talk and nothing else.
I think at the very least
it might have got chopped off.
Your phone picked up my voice maybe a little lower, but we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know if it's going to be reclaimable or not. But with that being said, we're just going to roll because Mike's got to go in and cover UCLA Sac State in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just see where we're at. But here, what's brewing with you? What's brewing with you?
Yes, man.
What's brewing with me?
Yeah.
What's brewing with you? What's brewing with you? Wait, is that how it goes? What's brewing with?
Yeah. Doom. I don't know.
So it's funny. Bill left the show and I started singing. So who knew that was going to happen? I'm about to go meet Bill. He hasn't texted me yet, I don't think. I'm on Do Not Disturb.
Jerk.
But he's going to be sitting in the Godfather seats with me tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. Mike, what's brewing with you in an abridged version?
Just really quick, goddamn, Thanksgiving has come quickly. So the kids and I over the weekend, we love the rain. We were careful driving and all that, but we were driving through the rain, shopping, getting some of our stuff, getting really in the mood. The kids are really into the holidays right now. Like they are hardcore into it. So I'm like, you know what? This is great. If it was if it was on my younger years, I'd be like, whatever. We'll just wait till Christmas. But they've got me in the spirit. My daughters are making me drink weird fruity and Christmas holiday themed coffees from Starbucks and all that. So we're in it. But we just we're out and about in the rain, came home, made dinner, listened to the rain, watched movies that the kids wanted to watch. So it was pretty chill. Didn't do too much because of the rain, but was able to get out and we quite love it. But what's wrong with you?
That's lit. I was just in Vegas and I was there for the National Public Safety Football League league meeting, and we set a schedule for the Grizzlies here in the spring of 26, and that was good. And then Sarah, my wife, came out to see me on Friday. She flew out. She's relatively not able to move around very well. She's got a little back issue going on currently, so I had to get a scooter from the Luxor, which I didn't know how easy it was to. So she was on Friday night. We were driving around her on a scooter. And she had a couple of drinks, so I had to keep her from crashing into things, but it worked out all right. And then the one thing I want to, and then I went to UNLV, Utah State, which was fun. Thank you to the Butlers, the Fletchers for hosting us. Butler is the maiden name of the lady we were there with. And that was fun. We were front row on the end zone line.
Oh, nice.
With a bunch of UNLV fans. And it was a fun game to be at. So I do appreciate that. It was at Allegiant. And the one thing I'd like to stress is I can't believe how easy it is to do sports gambling now when you're actually in a state that allows it.
Yeah.
I literally, I got on the app. I was in MGM because we were staying at Lexar because that's where the conference thing was. Got on the app, and you have to go to the sports book to get verified. But once you do that, and they have people there helping you. There's a lovely young lady that was just like, oh yeah, let me show you how to do this thing. Okay, cool. So then once you get verified on the app that you're actually there in Vegas at the sportsbook, then after that you walk away and you could just be like, oh yeah, bank account, PayPal, I'll put in hundreds of dollars. There you go, bam, like that, in a snap. And then you bet on whatever you want to bet on. You don't have to be in the sportsbook. You could be whatever. You could be at Allegiant Stadium betting on stuff. And then when you're all done, you win a little, you lose a little, you lose everything. You don't lose everything, it doesn't apply. But let's say you win a little, you lose a little. You want your money back, you just hit, oh yeah, give me the money back, just like on a Venmo or something, and just deposit it right back in your account. So it's like, if I were a compulsive gambler, this would end me.
This would be
troublesome. Thank God I'm not a compulsive gambler,
exactly.
And it didn't. But it's like, I could not believe how simple it was.
Yeah.
And it, really, it's not like, it's just like anything else nowadays. Everything's, just with a push of a button, you can do stuff. But like, no wonder every podcast that advertises for the MGM BetMGM app or whatever app there is, or DraftKings or whatever, like they also have 3 minutes of a disclaimer about, hey, gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLERS, whatever. So
just in case.
I was impressed and a little frightened by the ease with which it was to sport bet my little life away when I was there in Vegas. So that's it, Mike. So we're about to go. Mike, what is your call time for a game at Pauley Pavilion?
Yeah, about now.
Okay, so he's got to be out there.
Yeah.
So we're going to end this right now.
We'll be good.
He's good. So we're going to walk up the stairs and be right in front of Pauley Pavilion. I'm going to meet Bill, take a couple pictures, and watch the game. And hopefully UCLA beats Sac State. I can't imagine they won't. They're up 3-point favorite over. And until next time, Mikey, what do we say?
Go Bruins.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Oh my God.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's got to be in or out, Mom. In or out. Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, Rob, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.